What up, everybody? This is Rama Screen, and it's time for another celeb interview. And in the anticipation of Scare Package, which arrives on VOD, digital HD, DVD, and Blu-ray October 20th, I'm here talking with one of the stars of this movie, Jeremy King. How you doing, Jeremy?
I'm doing fantastic today. And hopefully eventually VHS, right? Hopefully eventually it's released on VHS.
That would be awesome. Um,
You said
so
celeb and star in that opening, and I think my wife would disagree with both.
this is not your first horror movie, though. But is this your first anthology movie?
It is my first anthology movie, yes. Yeah.
And what was that experience like?
It was fantastic. I was kind of in the loop as they were developing this. I had worked with Aaron Kuntz and Cameron Burns before with Paper Street Pictures, and so they sort of brought this idea to me probably not too long after they did Camera Obscura, and so I kind of got to see how it progressed. I mean, it took about 2 years for them to film all the short films, and then basically they wrote the segments in between and the ending after all those films were done so that they could tie it all together. So
Yeah,
just in general, it was really cool to see that whole process.
yeah. Usually in anthology, whether it's anthology shows or movies, you end up kind of like favoring some episodes over the others. But I actually liked all of the segments in this movie. They're all fun.
I totally agree. I mean, it was so nice to be able to watch it when it premiered. And I mean, I just enjoyed the whole thing. All the directors just absolutely knocked it out of the park. And it was such a joy to see how they edited everything together and how they even integrated the wraparound with all the films that were going on. And then they even tied in the cold open with the ending. So the whole thing just came together really well. It was such a joy to watch.
Your character, Chad Buckley, is the owner of this video store, the type of video store I used to go to back when video stores existed. Your co-star Han Tran told me that the video store that you guys shot the scenes at actually shut down not too long after you guys finished filming. Is that true?
Yeah. Yeah, that was sad to hear. I think it shut down. I think it was only like 3 or 4 months ago that it finally shut down. But yeah, that was sort of sad to hear because in between takes, I would literally wander the video store like checking it out because I used to love going to the video store, the corner video store, and then eventually Blockbuster took over, right?
Yeah.
Um, but I love just wandering around looking for something that you wouldn't normally see, and it's sort of sad that we lost that. And then even this place that people frequented wasn't able to stay open, so that was kind of sad.
Gold
Dustin
Dust.
Rhodes, oh yeah,
Yeah.
Gold Dust.
So he plays the Impeller in this movie, right? And I
Yes,
believe, if I'm not mistaken, you share screen time with him, correct? And so, what was
yeah,
it like
yeah.
working with Goldust?
Man, he was absolutely awesome. Just a totally chill, laid back guy. A lot of times
Oh,
on set, if you have, bigger name people like that, you don't want to bother him. You don't want to but he would actually come sit with us and, tell us cool stories about his wrestling days and his different injuries and stuff like that. So he was just one of those class acts that, sometimes you work with people and they're kind of distant and they stay to themselves. And Dustin Rhodes, man, was just hanging out the whole time and super nice guy. And luckily he didn't try to stay in character and like hurt us in between takes. That was nice.
if I were you, I would have asked him to do a curtain call or suplex on me.
So looking back on it now, if I was more worried about like social media and stuff, I probably would have posted something with him like suplexing me or doing something dastardly. But
That's awesome.
I don't think of things like that when I'm on set. You're just talking to the person. You're not like, oh, let's get this. Throw me against a wall. I don't think Aaron would have liked that anyway if we were getting injured on set.
Now, as I'm winding down to my final questions, I asked your co-stars this, and I want to ask you, um, if we don't have the pandemic, how do you usually celebrate Halloween? What do you usually do?
The last few years, we've just been taking my kids around the neighborhood, believe it
Mm.
or not. I have a 7-year-old and a 15-month-old. So usually we would just walk around the neighborhood collecting candy. You got these little minions that you can send out to get a bunch of candy, and then you eat it overnight while they're sleeping. So I think
So
it's as good a way as any to celebrate Halloween.
So now we're just stuck probably doing marathons of movies, horror movies, probably.
Well, unfortunately, at my house, we're stuck doing marathons of Tangled and Frozen 1 and 2 because my 15-month-old daughter mainly controls the TV. So I can quote anything from Frozen 1 or 2 or Tangled right now. Those are her favorites.
Well, there's nothing scarier than Elsa, definitely.
There are some tense moments, or you got the big snowman, the big ice man that comes after him. That's pretty scary stuff. It's almost like a horror movie sometimes.
Exactly.
Maybe we can find like a Frozen Halloween special that I can at least ever watch on Halloween.
That
But I
would be
did
great.
introduce my son to Nightmare on Elm Street, believe it or not,
Yeah.
and he absolutely loves that now. So that was great.
Oh yeah.
And he's actually a big Scare Package fan. I let him watch Scare Package, so that was fun. But
Awesome.
I'm slowly starting to like introduce my son to like the classic horror movies, which is pretty cool that he's getting to that age.
Good. You're a good father. That's good.
Yeah.
Excellent. So
Here, son, watch this and then sleep in our bed for the next month because you're scared. I'm a great dad.
so and lastly, what's next on your horizon? What upcoming projects can we expect from you next?
That is a great question. Um, the pandemic has really thrown a lot of things into question. So even projects that I was looking at being attached to have sort of been pushed back, and we haven't really gotten any word on it yet. So your guess is as good as mine on that one.
All right. Well, everybody at home, please check out Scare Package. You won't regret
Go
it.
see it. It's
Go see
awesome.
it.
You're gonna love
October
it.
20th on DVD, Blu-ray, VOD, and digital HD. And
Look at all
Jeremy,
that
thank you so
blood.
much for talking to me, and congratulations, sir.